And here we go, guys. Welcome back to Over Foolish in this beautiful night here in Italy. It is 9 p.m. And as usual, we are gonna play some good. It gets lonely here. So if you feel like it, sit on your sofa or your bed, take some water, and have some fun. Hi, Forbidden Blueberry. It's been a while. Welcome back. Okay, let's start the game. We're gonna read so much. Oh, I'm gonna inform you guys, I have a hidden from just a little while ago, something like 10-15 minutes ago, so I'm still in the process of digest. I do hope that nothing bad happened, okay? Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm gonna relax tonight. With a good dubbing, we're gonna do, I think, 1 hour, but we're gonna see about that, if I have energies or not. The music are overlapping and my screen is black. Yeah, I'd like to stop the music. Thank you. Can I stop the music? Thank you. Very nice of you. Okay, let me check the volumes. And I'm gonna skip. Okay, scene. Let's put it a little lower, like this. You let me know about the volumes, okay, guys? Just give it, and I don't know why my screen is blinking. Load. So, this is the last run, I think. We got 3 ways. We got the castle, we got the village, and now there are the shores. Let's see, finally, if this beautiful little lady can have an happy ending, or if she's gonna die again. So, you want to go to the shores? Good idea. What will you discover there, I wonder? This night is far from over, and there are any number of adventurers still awaiting you. I hope that you have prepared yourself in advance, and I hope for your sake that you have learned how to swim. I have a sneaky suspicion that this skill might come in handy. You follow the path which leads to the shore, supporting yourself unwary. Inclining limbs which feel ready to snap at the knee beneath the burden of your weight. Hi Forbidden, welcome back. You are little more than a wisp of a girl, but you have been running for so very long, and your feet are so very numb, you feel like a great lumbering thing. You need to lie down and quickly. You only hope as you continue to run that you will find a means to escape the current predicament by the shore. You do not know what awaits you, but you have a vision of a harbor extending out to the horizon, cradling a fleet of white-sailed fishing vessels. Surely there will be a kindly fisherman who will be willing to take you far, far away on his boat, to a place where your pursuer will not be able to find you. It's been a while, how are you? I'm okay, thank you. Thank you for coming back. We are having new people here. Here and there in the day, so you're gonna find and make new friendships. You can imagine too the face of this kindly fisherman, a face you have lifted for the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. He will have thick, bushy eyebrows and a dark brown beard streaked through with grey. He will look intimidating at glance, but he will be fiercely protective of you, just like a father. You do not know what the fathers are supposed to be like. You are only imagining them. It is your imagination, however, which grants you the strength needed to keep going. You run to the shore. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally you do it. Oh, it is beautiful. Man, I want to live I want to have a house in here. Like in the middle between the sea and the mountain, completely alone by myself, and find a way to survive, I don't know. It's gonna be so beautiful. I cannot answer that. Did I not say that the time has begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is behind you now, at least. Sorry. I need to drink something. There we go. Better. And all the awful nightmare that lurks within it. It is cold too, and it is still foggy. It is still dark too. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the vertiginous cliff, which plummeted sharply downwards to an area of sharp, spiky rocks below. You felt upon escaping the woods a degree of hope, but the sight of these weather-blasted cliffs give you a pause. You inhale, then you frown. Now, what are you to do? You did not think this plan of yours through very well. Thought very well. I always confound them. Not that you had much in the way of a plane in the first place. There is little in the way of civilization here. The cliffs are far from the village. How far? You do not know, and you cannot see any houses. This is the first time that I hear like this beautiful song in the background. We didn't have any of that before. My God. Where exactly will you rest your weary head, and what of your weary legs? Fitfully, you look around. There is nobody to your east, nor is there anybody to your west. There is no point in looking south. There is the way you came. And when you look to the north, the words fall away from you. The cliffs are too steep to scale, and it is too dark. Naturally, there is not a soul here to help you. You are on your own. You feel so overwhelmed that you could very well cry. Well, at least you're alone and nobody is pursuing you. You do not cry, however. You know that tears have never helped anyone. You got yourself into this mess. Now you need to get yourself out of it. It is with this thought that in mind that you inhale a lungful of salty oceanic air. Then you begin your exploration in earnest. You keep away from the edges of the cliff, afraid that you might slip and take a sudden unfortunate tumble into the abyss below. You are not as attached to your mortal body as some humans are, but you do not want to die. You still care for yourself, if only a little. And it is this sense of self-preservation which compels you onwards. You glance this way and that, depressing the tall grass beneath your shoes, as you search for a place of shelter. Surely there must be somewhere. You cannot see any likely lookless settlements, but what is that over yonder? Could that be a roof? Oh, it is. An abandoned house. You hurry onwards, hope bathing anew in your heart until long last you reach your destination. There is a house, after all, out of here in the wilds, though it doesn't at glance look very welcoming. The solitary house that you have discovered not so far from the cliff is rather unremarkable. It is small and squat. You cannot imagine it contains within more than one floor. You cannot even imagine that it contains much more than one room. Though it's dark, it is not dark enough to mask that the cottage has something of a slant to it. It is leaning listlessly to one side, like a drunken sailor. The thatched roof, meanwhile, which topped its dwelling, has certainly seen better days. There is a hole in the thatch. There are several holes, in fact, and parts of it look particularly bare, almost bald. That is rather concerning. Should it rain, you will not be properly protected from the elements. Can you really stay the night in such a place? You have some misgivings. But do your misgivings matter, really, when there is nowhere else to go? It is not as though you have any other options. It is with a sense of defeat, therefore, that you approach the cottage, which sticks out of the heart like a tombstone. Part of you wants to turn back, but you know that would be foolish. The windows of the cottage are dark, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's empty. It is rather late night, after all. Whoever lives there, if indeed anybody does live here, might be asleep. You cannot imagine the owners of this cottage will appreciate being roosted so very late at night. You cannot let yourself worry too much about these small details, however. Otherwise you will never get anywhere. You swallowed. The taste of the salty sea breeze is pungent in the blade of your nostrils. Then you rub the knuckles of your right fist on the door. You rap quietly at first, but you do not hear any resultant shuffling inside the cottage. Perhaps you did not use enough strength. Emboldened, you rap your knuckles on the door for a second time, more loudly this time. You wait a few moments, but still you cannot hear anything. Perhaps the cottage is unoccupied after all. Well, I mean, there is a hole, so possibly. You knock for a third time, then wait. The third time is, as they say, the charm. But for all that, your knocking goes unanswered. Well, nobody can say that you did not try. More intrigued now than anxious, your fingers find the handle of the door. You pull it down and, to your surprise, it yields easily. The door swings back for you as if by magic. It feels almost as if this was preordained. Preordained. There is nobody here. For now, at least. You step foot inside the cottage, which is very dark, and glance around. It is hard to see, given the lateness of the hour, but the cottage interior is about uninspiring as its exterior, which is to say, not very. It is every bit of as small and cramped as you fancy it when you observe it from the outside. There are a few cupboards which lines the walls, a wood fire, which has since been extinguished, and a straw pallet on the floor, which must be function as a bed. Your search is unsuccessfully, however. When it comes to trying to locate other humans, you cannot find another soul. Surely that is to your benefit, though. This game is called It Gets So Lonely Here, and it is a narrative horror game that helps me to read better in English, like pronunciation. Even if it's right with a very young English that is completely difficult to read for me, but exception for that, you have 3 ways where to go escaping from something that we don't know already, and we already choose 2 of them, and we died 2 times. We're gonna check if the third and last choice will be the good one, or if we're gonna die anyway. If nobody else lives here, then you might as well make yourself at home. Or as at home as one can be, I suppose, in a small cramped cottage such as this, which holes in the roofs. You close the door behind you, then approach the straw pallet. All of a sudden, you feel incredibly weary. The tiredness that assails your limbs is absolute, so intense it overcomes the last of your concern. You settle down upon the straw pallet, yawning as you do. It is not comfortable, but being able to lie down eases some of your aches and pains. Lying down even on an uncomfortable makeshift bed such as this one is better than standing. It is far, far better than running. Your eyelids fall shut, your lashes melting together, and soothed by the sound of the wind, that is actually really cool, and the ocean, and the distant rolling of the waves, you fall asleep. Then you begin to dream. It is not uncommon, of course, to dream. The best and the worst of us do it, from the queens and their castle to peasants sleeping in the straw. Why, who is to say that all you have observed tonight has not, in a sense, be a dream of its own? Would that make you night-time fancies then, a dream inside a dream? Perhaps our dreams are empty, hollow, things stuck inside one another, like little wooden dolls. Is that not a whimsical thought? How very droll. Your dream, however, cannot be called a whimsical, and neither are they particularly droll. They are not pure fabrication, as dreams sometimes are fleeting fancies which can never come to pass. Your dreams are of a rather more pernicious sort. In your dreams, you are at the conservatoire, with your red hair tied back into 2 prim, proper braids. You are walking through the courtyard, clutching your books to your chest. As you make your way to the library, your head is bowed, so as not to look at the faces of your passing classmates. You do not want to meet their eyes. These girls, with their sensible bread and their sensible shoes, are merciless. You hunch your shoulders together in this dream of yours, so as not to draw their attention, but alas, it is not enough. You stumble, clumsy things that you are, and you fall, and you just like that. All the eyes are upon you. They are staring at you. They are laughing at you. You lay there on the ground by the fountain, your books scattered, and your skirt is a hopeful state of disarray. Your knee hurts. Is it bleeding? You examine your injured leg, trying not to cry, and as it transpires, you hear a voice. One of your classmates is calling out to you. She has acknowledged you. You look up shyly, tears beating in your eyes, at a girl taller than you and pettier and much more refined. She extends her hands towards you. Does she mean to help you? It cannot hurt to try, can it? Hesitantly, you reach out to accept her offer. Aid. Her fingers curl around your tightly, perhaps too tightly. Her nails dig into your skin. It hurts. Deftly, the girls pull you to your feet. Your legs feel weak from your fall, and your knee is still hacking, still bleeding. You stumble feeling out of sorts, but you are not afforded much of an opportunity to gather your bearings. The girl's hands are on your shoulders. She is laughing at you. Then she is punishing you. The sound of the fountain and the running water which drums against it basing is all of the sudden very loud. It is overwhelming. It surrounds you. Then it engulfs you. It is cold as ice. You cannot breathe. The rushing of the water continues echoing in your eardrums over and over, and then, no, you do not want to remember this. What good will it do? Are you dead? Did you die because of your classmate you're dreaming all about this fantastic thing? It is in the past, where the past ought to remain. You are never going to go back, not even in your dreams. It is this determination which forces you back into the world of the waking with a start. You gasp like a fish. As you sit upright, your eyes unnaturally wide. You feel wearied from a lack of sleep, and with half-lidded eyes, you glance about. It is still dark inside your cottage. The sky visible from beyond the window splashes still with stars. How long were you asleep? You are not sure. Your dream was so very detailed. It really did feel that you had been transported into a different time, into a different place. Man, did you died? And this is all like a dream or some kind of, I don't know, purgatory? It is actually the fact that we die in the story, we go back, it can be something like a purgatory or something like that. When you inhale, you can taste the rank, fetid water in your mouth. Tentatively, you pat yourself down, your fingers trailing against the front of your uniform. So vivid was your dream, you half expected to find that your clothes are damp. This is not the case, however. You are in fact perfectly dry. Well, now what are you to do? Will you go back to sleep? That sounds like the best opinion available to you. You are very tired, but your senses feel too overwrought of all the sudden for sleep. You do not think you could bear it. On unsteady legs, you rise to your feet, then stand by the window. You look out to the starry skies and to the pitted moon which hangs amongst them, and you frown. You can hear the wind outdoors howling like an injured animal's, and more softly the ebb and flow of the waters that meet the cliff. But that is not all. What is that sound? Why, it is almost like singing. The voice is far away, enough that you cannot pick out any individual words, not even the individual syllables, but there is a haunting quality to it all. The singer, whoever they are, possesses a quite pretty voice, high and clear like a bell. The song is a melancholy one which stirs your heart. Curiosity takes root inside you, and it did during that fateful day you found that book in the library. Logically, you know that you should not go outdoors to seek the source of that singing, but emotionally, that is another matter altogether. You really should have learned your lesson by now. You should know because we have done like 2 routes and we died in 2 routes. You really should learn just to stay put and don't investigate. But we do nonetheless. You should know better that to go sticking your nose into business which does not concern you. But naughty little girls such as you never do learn. You cross the old fisherman cottage as though in a dream, then reach for the handle of the door. The handle depresses easily enough beneath your grasping fingers, and the door opens with a click. The rest of the world yawns before you, framing into the doorway, all of it bathed in moonlight. You thought it was cold inside the old cottage, but it is colder still now, and that the door is open. An unpleasant wind rushes forth to meet you, knifely mercilessly through the fabric of your uniform. You look across the cold, inhospitable landscape, your fingers clenched to the first at your side. Then you step out into the unknown. If she finds another girl, I'm starting to think about it that she's dead, and this is like a purgatory because we found 2 places with 2 different girls, and she's from a conservatoire that was just for girls, so her mind knows just girls, okay? So she see girls because that's the only thing she had experience with in the conservatoire, so she may be already dead. You canvass the cliff face, led by nothing more than that luxurious singing, so haunting and ethereal that is this voice. As it hangs on the breeze, it will be enough to send 1,000 sheep off to war. You keep walking into the night until you reach the very edge of the cliff, where they drop downwards into the empty air. You ought not to go any further, but the voice has yet to cease. You can still hear it, echoing inside your head. It compels you to act. You look down at the shore, which seems like a dizzying distance away, then out to the ocean, which is breaking against the scattered rocks below. Your eyes narrow with determination. Then you take a step toward the cliff. The cliffs are steep, and the rocks below them are sharp. You can see them glinting in the darkness, their tips jagged like the teeth of hungry predators. The cold wind blows, rocking your hair, and you shudder from it. Your shoes were not built for scaling cliff, and your heels do not have much in the way of purchase, particularly not when the cliffs are so steep. Climbing to the cliff is not small feat, yet you are determined to ease yourself down onto the shore, in one piece, preferably. The wind is so powerful, it feels as though there is something deliberately malicious to it. You wonder during your descent if it means to knock you off your perch on purpose, to cast you down to the rocks below. Well, if that is what it wants, well, you refuse to give in to the satisfaction. You can be awfully stubborn at a time, and now is the one of them. You continue to climb. How long have you been at it now? Until at long last your feet meet the shoreline below. Ooh, beautiful. You have made it, and you did not sustain too many injuries. Your palms are troubling, yes, after gripping those rocks, and you might have a few cuts, but your wounds are of a shallow and superficial sort. Things could have been worse. You flex your fingers. They feel uncomfortably numb, and cold alongside it. Your skin is prickling, but at least you can still feel discomfort. At least it is still attached to your own bones, where it is held to be your vital organ concealed within the hollow cavity of your body. You have a lot of to be thankful for. This night has, by and large, been quite successful. There are no longer any obstacles between you and the mysterious voice which lulled into your doors. Now you must find them. So there are multiple, there's not just one. You set off down the shore on the hunt of the singing voice which has captivated you so. You sidestep sharp, jagged rock which jut out of the sand like teeth. The rocks which cannot be circumnavigated meanwhile, you clamber over. All the while, the sound of the sea mingles with that of the singing. It provides an ethereal, haunting backdrop to your exploration, one which further adds to the surreality of your moonlight stroll. The waves lap against the shore, then recede shyly, pushed away and pulled by the bleached white moon which hangs overhead. The oceans that you have seen in your library, books were all blue as sapphires, but this ocean is different. It is so late at night, it looks black instead. The undulating surface of the water reminds you of a mirror, though. Its depths are very deeper and much more mysterious. A sense of foreboding settles upon you, but you try to quash it. You will not let yourself be afraid. Oh, it's a siren this time! Okay, she's not even human. Oh, it's a siren. Okay, she's gonna eat us alive, 100%. I bet, I mean, we're gonna die. We're gonna be eaten. Again. You round a corner, your feet unsteady in their sensible brown shoes. And then, at long last, you see her. It is another girl, though. I think we are already dead. And we are in some kind of purgatory. We died... we drowned in the fountain or something. There is a woman sitting upon a rock out in the ocean. The woman's eyes are closed and her lips are parted, her expression soulful. She is singing. Her hair, which is fair, fluttered around her face like a shroud, which adds to her an otherworldly aura. Her eyes might be closed, but her lashes are long and luxuriant like a doll's. Her lips, meanwhile, which are parted in songs, are soft, like the freshly plucked petals of a flower. Her face is perfect, as are her proportions. She's a fish, though. What kind of proportion do you know? Her neck is tall and slender, like the stem of a flower. As for the lower half of her body, meanwhile, well, it is nothing like anything you ever seen before. It's a fish. You didn't ever see a fish? Is here and here alone. It is here and here alone that the woman betray your narrow human definition of beauty, for her legs are not existent. Rather than two awkward appendages, this woman has instead the sleek shimmering tail of a fish. Is she not then a human? She cannot be, not with a tail like that. This unusual sight make you gasp, and quietly, audibly add, you do not mean to be rude, but you cannot help yourself. Humans tend to react poorly to things they do not understand. At least, you do not scream. Oh, I missed the last part. Oh my! You meant to observe the mermaid from a distance, but it would appear that your shocked gasp was loud enough to attract their attention. Oh, you're beautiful. The fish-tailed vision sitting upon the rocks is looking at you. Her gaze is so piercing, it feels almost as if she is looking through you. Your heart seems to stop inside your chest, as if by some manner of magical spell. You thought the mermaid pretty when first that you observed her sitting on a outcrop of a rock, her face turned in profile. Now she's looking at you, however. You can see that you were mistaken. She's not just pretty. She's beautiful. So much so, it almost unnerving. She looks as though she has stepped out of a page of a picture book. She's a mermaid, so she's a mythical creature. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she is some kind of a vision, a waking dream, an hallucination. But no, she is none of those things. Her tail might be an impossible thing, but its scales look slick and wet regardless, like those of any fish one might be find at the market. These scales are iridescent and bathed beneath the light of the moon. They seem almost to glow. The sight of her rather takes your breath away. You look at the mermaid. She looks back at you. You prepare yourself, expecting some sort of altercation, but the surprise soon fades from the mermaid's face. Oh, she's smiling. Her lips, which once were pursuing a frown, now shift upwards. She is smiling. Then she said in refined sort of voice, My, it really is good to see a human again, particularly a human girl. Oh, my screen is, I don't know why, blinking. I was beginning to fear that your kind had all disappeared, and I would no longer have anybody left to tell me of the world above the waters. My, this is quite a effusive greetings. The mermaid introductory speech is positively brimming with excitement of a sweet girlish variety. She is rather more amicable than the finest polish of her syllables would make one suggest. You might be all well bred lady yourself, with an accent to match, but you cannot help but feel overwhelmed. Anxiously, you observe the mermaid and you ask her what she means. What happened? As to that, I am afraid I cannot say. I haven't been sitting on the rocks and singing for many nights, but nobody has come to see. I'll tell you what happened, guys. There was like, how do you call that? Like a sickness around, a plague. It was a plague, and everybody died. And basically that is why she cannot find any other human in this shore, because they're all dead. I have been sitting on this rock singing for many... okay. And my screen, again, is blinking. What is happening? Give me a second, guys. I just wanted to... I mean, I cannot do that, really. I can close it for a little bit and open it again, because it may be something like a problem with the screen. Like with the electricity and stuff. So give me a second. You will see the screen very little now, because it's changing from the second screen, so don't worry about it. Okay. It's gonna reset itself. Eventually. Okay, we're back. There have been no lovely humans for me to play with. And it's blinking again. What the fuck is happening? I'm gonna restart my PC after this. I was beginning to wonder whether your kind has disappeared altogether. I feared some manner of a calamity has occurred while I was slumbering beneath the water's surface, and your kind has been eradicated. Well, kinda, with a plague, yeah? You shudder, then reassure the mermaid to the contrary. You do not know about the humans that she used to speak with, but you at least have not been eradicated. You are still here. Yes, well, I can see that, the mermaid answered with a light laugh. It really is a relief. My fellow mer people, okay, who live beneath the water, told me not to worry so, but I couldn't help myself. I have always been fond of you humans. It was rather sobering sitting here night after night, all on my own. It gets so lonely here. There we go. Every single run, we get the title of the game. Now there is an interesting turn of a phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? Yeah, 2 times actually. So, dear human, did you say that you are unfamiliar with these parts? And my screen is blinking again. I'm getting tiring of it. Accidentally, this is actually a problem of the video driver. Accidentally, you examine the mermaid. Thoughtless though you might be, at times you are not so very self-centered that you cannot detect the note of longing in the mermaid's voice. It is evident, as she looks at you, that she is hoping for a particular answer to her query. This answer, alas, is not one that you can furnish her with. You do not want to lie here. It is after some hesitation, therefore, that you reaffirm your earlier, oh my god, you reaffirm your earlier words. That is so complicated to say for my mouth, and I don't even know why. Though, this time, you embellish them. You tell the mermaid that you are a traveler from afar off land, one which is very dissimilar to this one. This is not a complete fabrication. You tell her that you have only just arrived by this shore, and you are unfamiliar both with your immediate surrounding, and those further afield. If there is a village nearby, then you have never set foot on it. I mean, we have done it one time, but we are dead. We died, I mean. You do not know what this village is like, nor how many inhabitants it boasts. You do not know if a calamity, as the mermaid grimly supposes, has struck this land. But if she fears all the humans within the immediate vicinity have been laid low by some mysterious malady, then she needed to worry overlay on that score. You are still alive. Are you not? You wonder enough to satiate her curiosity with the human realm. Yes, that is true. You are here. I am grateful, naturally, for your company, although... Wistfully, the mermaid sighs. I was really hoping you might be able to bring me some news of a nearby village and of its inhabitants. Why do you want to know? And my screen is blinking again. This makes you wonder what these are particularly person from this village she was close to. So you were able to work that much out, the mermaid answered with a small smile. You're an intelligent one, aren't you? Your past professor would beg to differ on that score. You were always awful when it came to academics and mathematics in particular. Oh, she's like me. You could never get your head around of the numbers. Your stern, stony face's math professor used to despair in you. But she's not here. Here? None of them are here. It is just you now and the mermaid, and she does not need to know about your dismal academic records. You allow yourself a small smile, touched by her compliment, and tell her that it was nothing more than a lucky guess. For a guess, it was remarkably accurate. You are quite right. I did have a close friend from the nearby village. She was very dear to me. Is that the gravedigger? Internally, you congratulate yourself of this piece of detective work. How very clever you are. There are many humans in this world. Of that I know. The human who spoke with me, however, was special. She was my human? You do not fail to catch the possessive note in the mermaid voice. She was my human. And I cherished her dearly. Your human what? She would come to me on my rock late night, when she was finished with her chores, and we would talk. I asked her a good number of questions about the human realm and about their custom. I fear my endless inquiries must have been rather tedious, but she was always happy to indulge me. She never once scorned me for my ignorance, and neither did she make me feel like a fool. She always made time for me, no matter how many demands she had on her times. She was a farmer daughter, a farmer daughter, and she was awfully busy from dawn until dusk, threshing hay and taking the animals out of pasture. No, she's not. She's not a grave digger. Okay, but we know that she's already dead because of the plug. Because we went in the village and we talked with the grave digger, and everybody are dead except for the grave digger. She told me of her work, and I marveled at her. Slender though she was, she possessed a truly tremendous amount of strength. I, who have lived in the ocean all my life, cannot countenance working as hard as she did. But she bore her burden without you complaint. Actually, you should be more strong than her, because to swim in the ocean all the time make you very, very stronger. So, yeah, I think you're stronger, actually, than the normal gravity, you know. She was not the prettiest human who was walking the earth, but that matters not to me. Her conversation was engaging, and I knew through our continued encounters that she meant no ill will. She did not have even a single drop of malice in her heart. The wistful manner in which the mermaid speaks of her friends makes you feel for a few brief moments a flicker of some ugly, primordial emotion. Could it be jealousy? It is painful, isn't it, to hear others wax poetic about those they hold dear, particularly when you yourself have never been regarded in so intimate a manner. Actually, you have done it that 2 times. They called you a pretty girl, and then they killed you. You have for many, many years been woefully alone. Woefully alone. But you are not alone now. You are with the mermaid, and she is with you. And though she might prefer to be in the company of an industrious farm hand, the farm hand is not here. Where did she go? Oh, if only I knew. She quite simply disappeared one day, almost as if she had been whisked away by wicked spirit. This seems like quite the anticlimactic ending for such a close relationship. Did the farm hand not tell her companion beforehand that she might one day disappear? No, she did not. Nothing of the sort happened. It was all very sudden. So you ask, feeling affronted upon the mermaid's behalf, did she not give you any warning? Not a single one. And when you ask, did she disappear? I do not know, in truth. Time is a strange concept to being such as myself, particularly as it seems to ebb and flow differently both above and below the surface. There are people that say that if we could swim forever in the sea, we could get like a different flow of time and stay younger than usual. But of course we cannot testify that. There are not like a scientific test about it, so because we cannot stay for years inside the sea. So you humans have a strange compulsion to pin down and to place labels upon everything. You have names for your seasons and for your month and even for your days of the week. It is all very precise. We merfolk, however, do not bother with such affairs, perhaps because we live for so much longer than you humans do. We have no need to obsessively document our days, not when we have so many of them at our disposal. This curious remark catches your attention. How long exactly do mermaids live for? The mermaids does not look much older than you do, but you cannot help but wonder. My, nosy, aren't we? The mermaid asked, and she laughed. Ah, soft tinkling sound like that of a bell, which makes you blush. Were you being nosy? Perhaps you were. You have always had a thirsty for knowledge, not of the dry, dusty academic variety, but of stories people with strange persons. Literature was the only subject you were ever any good at. A social like me. Again, it is hard for me to quantify, but to put in terms of a human like you can understand, I suppose mermaids can live for centuries. Centuries? That is quite a surprise. But perhaps it shouldn't be. You have been subjected to any numbers of surprises tonight. What is one more to add to the pile? I have not been waiting quite that long, however, for my friends to return to me. I think it has been but a few seasons. It might not sound like much, but never before have I been so aware of the passage of time. I have experienced it any number of once during my life, once during my life, but I have never wanted anything quite as badly as I want to see her. I wish she would sit with me, and she would talk to me just one more time. But perhaps I am asking for an impossibility. I have been waiting for long enough now to presume that she will not be returning to me. I fear that something must have happened to her, or to her family, or perhaps to her whole village. You can hear the worry troubling in the mermaid's voice, so potent that for a few moments you swear you can feel the depths of her sorrow within your own breast. Her sadness over this human girl is a deep, dark thing, almost fat homeless. You cannot let yourself indulge it for so long, otherwise you fear you might drown on it. Ruefully, you tell the mermaid once more that you cannot help her, you are only a traveler after all. What do you know of a single insignificant farmhand in a nearby village? Yes, I thought you might say that. It is quite unfortunate, but, well, I ought not to reflect upon all that I am missing. That would be churlish or carlish. Maybe it's churlish of me, and it would not be fair to you to either. You did not approach me, I am sure, with the hope of hearing about all my woes. I should be grateful instead for all it is that I do have. I still have my long, long life, which stretches before me like a golden cord. And of course, I have you now. Does she? Do I not? I ought to go soon before my absence is noticed, but will you not come and visit me again tomorrow night? I think I would like that. I have always enjoyed speaking to humans. You make me feel less alone. You cannot help but feel, as the mermaid observes you with those enchanting eyes of hers, that she does not truly wish to speak to you for your sake. She wants to use you instead as a substitute for the farmhand that she has been missing so very ardently. The thought stings to your really ought to be used to it. Still, to be held in a lower esteem than a farmhand all of things, it makes your self-esteem stink. You try not to let the mermaid notice this, though. The woes of your past are not of her fault, much as the woes of her past are not yours. It is silly in any case to be jealous of a girl who might very well be dead. That is what you tell yourself. It is the only way to prop up your bruised sense of self-worth. You tell the mermaid after a pause, like to see her again. You would like that very much. Oh, thank you. I have been feeling very gloomy for quite some time, but seeing you has invigorated me. Finally, it feels as though I can smile again. And with this, guys, we conclude our hour of dubbing today. We're gonna save in here, because this reading is really, really complicated for my mind, so I'm gonna get some rest. But as usual, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for keeping me company. Maybe you can be a little more interacting in live. That would be appreciated. But for the rest, I wish for you the better continuation of your life and of your lives. And we see each other tomorrow with more streamings. Okay? Have a good one, guys, and good night. Bye-bye.